Welcome to First United Methodist Church, located at the corner of Boulder Street and Nevada Avenue in bustling, thriving downtown Colorado Springs. Today, we're going to explore our historic building, that place we call church, whose rich history runs nearly as deep as the origins of the city itself. 1871. The year it all began for the place we know as First United Methodist Church in Colorado Springs, coinciding with the very beginnings of the city that we call home. The region of Colorado that would ultimately be named Colorado Springs was settled in 1859 and officially incorporated in 1871 by General William Jackson Palmer. The area was known as Little London by locals making homes here because of its popularity with English tourists. Trains ran in and out of the town, carrying tourists from other parts of the country and around the world, showing us that tourism then was very much a part of the city's infrastructure, like it is today. We know that the sunshine, fresh air, purple mountains, and beautiful views drew people from far and wide, and people of many backgrounds, trades, and professions made permanent homes here. While new settlers and families from all around were building homes for themselves, others were building and organizing other aspects of this new community. Reverend W.F. Warren, a pastor in Colorado City, now known as Old Colorado City, organized 12 of his former church members that had moved to the new town into a Sunday school class in 1871. The first meetings were held in Warner's Hotel on the corner of Kuchara Street and Cascade Avenue. As the congregation continued to expand, much like the city itself, the hotel and later the C.H. Foote building could no longer hold them. In March 1872, a quarterly conference was held in Colorado City, where it was determined to build a small chapel in Colorado Springs. Reverend Warren, with the help of several church members, set about raising enough money and obtaining land for the new church. In just one day, funds were pledged, and a lot on the corner of Huerfano Street and Weber Street, which we now know as Colorado Avenue and Weber Street, was donated by General Palmer. The building was completed in May, just 2 months after the decision was made to build it. It cost $1,250, and with the first stone laid, this became the first church of Colorado Springs. This quaint 22-foot by 32-foot building was host to 2 churches at the time, the Methodist Episcopal Church and the Presbyterian Church. The pastors of each of the respective churches preached its pulpit on alternating Sundays. As they grew, the Presbyterians would later go on to construct their own building. It was 1880, and the town was expanding rapidly. Imagine the bustle of building construction, trains coming through the town depot, and the hustle and energy of the people. As the town grew, so did the church. The church grew in such a way that the little chapel on Huerfano Street could no longer accommodate its congregation a mere 8 years after the original building was dedicated. After purchasing the lot on the corner of Nevada Avenue and Kiowa, the place where City Hall now stands, building commenced. Gradually, we were moving closer to where the current church building now resides. During the building's construction, near tragedy occurred. A tinsmith was hard at work one windy day, soldering the drains around the steeple when the wood caught fire. The steeple was destroyed, and many rafters were burned. The fire was contained as Reverend William Slutz, the pastor at the time, sat on one of the gables and poured water onto the flames. His actions prevented a complete loss. The building finished construction in 1881, 1 year after the cornerstone was laid. This second church building cost $16,000. As the young town grew, naturally so did the congregation of this young church. Once more, only 10 years later in 1901, the congregation found itself crowded and in need of larger facilities. William Lennox, a wealthy member of the Colorado Springs community, purchased the lot at the corner of Boulder and Nevada and gifted the property to the church. This new building cost $90,000 to construct, boasting a beautiful pipe organ, donated by William Lennox's parents, situated beneath the Daisy Scott Memorial window. Today, you may know this window as the Tiffany window, which can be viewed in the upper balcony of the sanctuary. This stained glass window, designed by Tiffany & Company, was donated by a West Virginia Senator, Nathan Scott, and his wife, Agnes. They enjoyed visiting Colorado and would attend the First Methodist Episcopal Church on their visits. The Scotts' first daughter, Daisy, passed away at age 15. The Tiffany window, also referred to as the Rose window, was made as a memorial to Daisy. In the window, Daisy is depicted as a young girl handing flowers to Jesus, with her sister standing in the back. A third child, the baby depicted, is believed to be symbolic. Mr. Tiffany once offered to purchase this window, considered by many an art treasure, for his personal collection, an offer which the leadership of the church at the time declined. This window has a sister piece in St. Matthew's Episcopal Church in Wheeling, West Virginia, where Nathan and Agnes were members. In 1920, C.A. Hibbard, a church member and notable community figure, purchased the land just west of the sanctuary to build a space for Sunday school classes. It took many years to see this through. Somewhere around this time, though the exact date is unknown, the church began broadcasting the Sunday service over the radio. Several persons from around the United States tuned into the broadcast from First Methodist Episcopal Church, even as far as North Dakota. In 1940, the dream of building a space to accommodate the Sunday school classes was finally realized, and construction began on what is now the Sunday school wing of the church. This space, once completed, served the adult and youth classes well. Centered around Hibbard Hall in the wing's basement, you'd find the church alive with busyness. From sock hops to plays, this was a place of bustling activity. The congregation found themselves in need of more space after outgrowing the sanctuary once more, and preliminary plans called for replacing the Boulder Street sanctuary. Plans presented to the congregation in 1953 included an addition to the Sunday school wing, a chapel, and a new sanctuary. The construction of what would be the fourth and final sanctuary for First United Methodist Church became a topic of much discussion and planning. The cornerstone was laid for the new sanctuary in 1955. The magnificent new sanctuary of First United Methodist Church, which cost $2,081,000, was consecrated Sunday, January 8, 1956. A new pipe organ would become the centerpiece of worship of the new sanctuary. The organ, then valued at $56,000, was given to the church by the Hoddy family. The pipes were housed in 4 special chambers directly behind the choir lofts. There were a total of 3,600 pipes, each handmade, ranging in size from 3/8 of an inch to 32 feet in length. Many miles of wires connect the console of the organ with the pipes. From the narthex, 3 pairs of doors led into the main floor of the sanctuary. The sanctuary contained, at that time, seating for approximately 1,700 people. On a mezzanine floor above and to the south of the chancel, a very technologically advanced control room allowed an operator to view the choir, pulpit, and congregation. The banquet hall, beneath the sanctuary, could hold 700 people, and the building committee installed television cables so overflow crowds could watch church services in the banquet room. On the site where the previous sanctuary once stood, construction of the Lemberg Chapel began that same year, 1956. The Lemberg Chapel was named after presiding pastor Dr. Ben Lemberg. Erected on the southeast corner of the grounds, it was connected to the Sunday school building by a covered breezeway. The chapel was to be used for weddings, funerals, and small church gatherings. Within the first 2 months after the dedication, 20 weddings had been performed in this quaint chapel. When the construction program was completed in 1957, this now 45,000 square foot facility provided much needed space for expansion in an ever-growing congregation. 1957 was a particularly busy year in the life and history of this church. In that same year, a group of church members saw great possibility in a beautiful piece of land in the mountains of Divide, Colorado. On an outing with a church youth group in 1957, the Reverend Homer Bollinger, minister of youth at First Methodist Church, noted a for sale sign along Highway 67 in Divide. Beyond the sign, Homer got a glimpse of the Lazy W.J. Ranch, 120 acres of beautiful rolling hills, timber, a lodge, and a small house. That for sale sign presented an exciting prospect for expanding the church youth program. In December of 1958, members of First United Methodist Church banded together to purchase the Lazy W.J. Ranch, valued at $25,000 for the purchase price of $17,000, and the John Wesley Ranch was established. It is clear to see that the foresight of this group of church members from decades ago has provided us with a wonderful setting for ministry. Today, the John Wesley Ranch is used for youth, Sunday school, church-wide and personal retreats, and is available for rentals. On November 7, 1965, a cornerstone-laying service heralded yet another building addition for FUMC. The addition was an L-shaped structure which, together with the sanctuary, formed a U, opening toward North Nevada Avenue. The entrance from Nevada Avenue into the north wing led directly into the administrative area. Other facilities included a theater with seating for 384 people, which could house worship services, assemblies, classes, lectures, and dramatic productions. An elevator served all 3 floors and the basement, with direct access to the banquet room and kitchen under the sanctuary. In all, the most recent buildings and additions constituted a church building of 328 feet long north and south and 184 feet deep east and west, containing over 130,000 square feet of floor area. Now remember, the very first building that housed the first congregants of First United Methodist Church was 22 feet by 32 feet, making 704 square feet. The history of FUMC runs much deeper than just an old building in downtown Colorado Springs. This story begins in 1900 when the National Deaconess Sanitarium and Hospital Society, a Methodist women's organization, established a hospital named the New Bellevue Sanitarium. They admitted all for treatment, regardless of ability to pay, and after 2 years were forced to cease operations because of financial difficulties. After 2 failed attempts to reopen the hospital, Mrs. Bell Lennox, a member of the church, called a large meeting of women at her home to reignite the dream of the Methodist women that founded the Bellevue Sanitarium. By October, her group gained enough momentum and support that her crusade resulted in the purchase of the sanitarium. The new hospital accepted their first patients in January 1904 and opened under the name Colorado Conference Deaconess Sanitarium. A training school was established with 1 student in February 1904 with the purpose of training deaconess nurses. The new hospital and training school began to prosper. In December, General William Palmer gave a half block of land for a new hospital building, as the old lacked proper facilities and equipment. In 1907, Reverend A.C. Peck, pastor of FUMC from 1886 to 1890, was induced to return to Colorado Springs from Denver to raise $50,000 for the project. In 11 weeks, they exceeded their goal, and with $75,000 in hand, the project was well on its way. The hospital guild raised another $10,000 for equipment, and in 1909, construction began. On July 1, 1911, the newly named Bethel Hospital opened. In June of 1943, the city of Colorado Springs purchased the hospital and school. They renamed the hospital Memorial Hospital in honor of the men and women of the city who lost their lives in World War II. Bethel School of Nursing is now affiliated with the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. The year is 1963. "Larry, give me $2. I've got a hungry man out here I need to feed," said Stella Marlin. Dr. LaCour reached into his pocket and gave Stella the $2. He remarked later, "If you have money in your pocket, don't go near Stella Marlin. She'll get it all." With a perspicacity, profound faith, and powerful persuasion, Stella Marlin mobilized an army of gophers to minister to parish and community for almost 7 years, showing us very early iterations of caring ministry's work at FUMC. A key word in Stella Marlin's life was gopher. It described her army of volunteers who would go for this and go for that in the daily tasks of calling, transporting, sorting, lugging, picking up, and delivering for this extensive ministry. Her collection included items such as clothing, cookware, and any household item you could need. Stella's ministry lasted for 12 years before she retired in 1975. The fruits of Stella's labor would go on to become Ecumenical Social Ministry, a collaboration of 8 downtown churches focusing on restoring dignity by providing food, medicine, housing, job placement, educational programs, and spiritual encouragement. Though ESM has closed in recent years, its and Stella's legacy live on through the people saved by its work. In 1964, after many years of radio ministry, a 10:55 a.m. traditional service was first televised Sunday mornings on KXRM, a station of which the church was a founding member. This service could be seen all the way from southern Colorado to northern New Mexico and reached a wide viewership, including homebound members and non-members, and people who lived too far away to attend FUMC in person. May 3, 1981, FUMC began pre-recording Faith Alive, a 30-minute program of volunteer singers from the choir, and a 17-minute sermon by Dr. O. Gerald Trigg. It was recorded on Wednesday, then aired on KOAA TV at 8:30 each Sunday morning. KXRM was later bought by the SoCo CW, where FUMC still airs a traditional service at 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings. We could not cover the multitude of the history of FUMC without mentioning the festive excitement that comes with each Advent and Christmas season. The first great tree was planted in front of the church along Nevada Avenue at the beginning of the Advent season in 1967. The Festival of Lights service was held for the purpose of lighting the great tree. The day was a magnificent affair, beginning first with volunteers baking tens of dozens of Christmas cookies for the community. This was followed by a music concert, or a Lessons and Carols service, open to the public. At the conclusion of the night, police would close Nevada Avenue and hundreds of people would exit the sanctuary onto the street to witness the lighting of the great tree. As time went on, the lighting of the great tree would be a kickoff to the Festival of Lights parade. Though the tree no longer stands, the parade lives on today, drawing thousands of people from all over the region to the Colorado Springs Festival of Lights Christmas Parade. Since the time of John Wesley and his hymn-writing brother, Charles Wesley, music has been an important part of the Methodist tradition. First United Methodist Church throughout the years has seen an abundance of talent in vocal and instrumental music under the leadership of outstanding music directors, organists, music support staff, and volunteers. The modern-day sanctuary boasts a pipe organ of 5,051 pipes, being rebuilt twice over the years with 4 keyboards and a footboard, as well as 122 draw knobs. This marvel is the largest pipe organ in southern Colorado, beating even the Air Force Academy Chapel's pipe organ by over 750 pipes. First United Methodist Church has been a host to many musicians and artists over the years, including the Vienna Boys Choir, Chanticleer, Cynthia Clausen, and Windley Phipps, just to name a few. Whether you have lived in Colorado Springs for long or not, you may know that the city has had its fair share of growth and change. Today, the growth of the city shows us that people still see a beautiful place with a variety of sights to see and experiences to enjoy. In all, a special place to perhaps find a forever home. First United Methodist Church appears much smaller amongst the downtown skyline of modern-day Colorado Springs than it once did. Its weathered structures speak to how long a place can stand, reminding us of the people who generously helped to build it, and also of those who love it and help to keep it standing and in operation today. While the building and the people who have worshipped here have changed, And even today, through construction updates or new coats of paint, the aim of FUMC and its missional goals and intentions for the community remain the same: to serve the city and all in its community, just as we did in our founding in 1871, and perhaps to grow in these efforts even more as time continues on.